Hello Planet folks, welcome and welcome back. Sorry, I'm Pxy-STREAM and we are continuing with pelvis rigging, and this method I'm using here is after many research and experimenting. So I'm using action bone constraints for, let's find the thigh first. Thigh bones, or the bone manager. So that is, so these are the control, this is the main control rig. Then we have, okay, not this, okay, fan bones and fanny bones, okay. And so this is what I'm working on. And then, okay, this is leverage, okay, also important. And I think there should be a big bone somewhere, I just don't know where it might have gone. Maybe I put it in some other place. Anyways, okay, so it's apparently it's not. Hold on, let's just try to find. It's not hidden, so. Oh, it's there. Okay, so this is was part of an experiment, half experiment, because I'm trying to adapt from another rig, just seeing if that could be positive, if it could work together with what I'm already working on, and apparently it can, but it doesn't do a lot so far. But I don't know if it improves or the inverse. But anyways, let's go for the most important. So first I'm going to just select one of the sides. So I'll be working. Okay, so where are these bones? Okay, so these are apparently on this layer. Let's change this to here, so this will be like big bendy bone spline. Okay, yeah, because it's a big bendy bone spline. Basically, this is Blender Studio, I think, and there's a tutorial on YouTube that expressed this idea. And also there is I've decided to try the armature, so bone constraint, and yeah, armature bone constraint. So sort of it's a bit more adequate, despite some aspects I dislike, like the fact that the bone here cannot be parented, otherwise it will double transform. And so it's like an unparented bone. Okay, that it works through bone constraint, just like a child of bone constraint also has this problem with parenting relation, and double stacking or conflicting transforms, right? Stacking transforms on a positive or on a negative conflicting way. But okay, so I need to pick this, and let me put this into, wait, first let's get this symmetrized. Alright, so it symmetrized the, then we, oh well, it's already, okay, let's pick here, 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 and then let's go on, I think it must be on edit mode, Shift M, or actually, yeah, it's not here, it's Alt M, I think. Yeah, move completely to new, so it's here, so I can hide. Alright, so here I have 3 systems. So this is currently optional, so I'm gonna turn off the deform properties of the bendy bone, because these are not deformed bones. The handles, they shouldn't be. Maybe on it's an interesting proposition. I've tried, I think, but yeah, even the handle could be, in certain case, could be explored as a deformed bone also, but this is not the case, so it's not our goal right here. So here we can give this color, orange color for, is that, yeah, some orange color for these bones. And for some reason, why did it lost the, okay, I don't know why it lost the colors I've assigned to it. So let's viewport display for the bones. So the handles, I'm using this, and this I'm using, yeah, this color, because this is I must differentiate it from the rest. Alright, so then why there's this, okay, I'm not sure what is the assign selected bone shift, assign, okay, this is annoying me. I'm not sure what is, oh, it's a button to assign, right? So maybe that's it. Okay, so anyways, I don't want that, so I have an animation here, and this is what I was working on, but I've made some change to the, yeah, so what I'm doing here is that for the leverage bones, you see how they are moving. So you have a leverage buttocks which is moving too much, so this there's left and right, so we just gonna hide, okay, the crotch, yeah, let's keep it, this is not symmetric, it's in the center. It's, yeah, it is like it's just one bone, not dual bones like these ones which has their pair, which is a pair. And so here, these the profile bendy bone splines that I'm using, and that have needs the automation. Also, the leverage ones need automation too. I'm using action bone constraints, and I'm using the same action for the control rig here. So I'm using all these actions, well, this one action for all the movements that I want. I hope that it will work. So in principle it sounds simple enough, but many things are a bit complicated to understand. So the first thing to understand for me was the fact that for an action bone constraint, let's find, okay, it's here, is the same action bone constraint for each bone. So I just copied it across all the bones on the left side, the ones that need to be automated. So the first thing that needs to understand is that there's range minimum and maximum and local space for X rotation. This is actually an angle value, and it's confusing because it doesn't show as degree, yeah, the symbol of degree. So this is very important. So this is a positive maximum. So actually this should be improved. Yeah, there's no, it's just very confusing. So I didn't know what was this value at the beginning. Anyways, let's so I've made the posing here, the automation for when the leg bends forward. However, I could probably reposition many of those bones on the keyframes, the same keyframes that I've made for them. But since the front bending, yeah, maybe I've made some small retakes, but then I want to do that for the back bending. I had a solution. I know it works, so not too difficult. Surprisingly, this is not too difficult, but it requires a bit of patience. It could be much harder, but because I have this rig, you notice that these bendy bone splines, actually let's also get them only on the yes, let's hide everything else. Okay, we get this apparently there is nothing here. Oh, these are helper bones for other joints. Okay, so this is not what I need. So what I can do here, same here, no, I don't want this for now. I'm gonna create a new layer so that I can you have here only the bones that I want. So I will use this and this, and so here. Now this is where it must be interesting. Let's create here something, and now I will use Shift M on pose mode to create, yes, to add. This will take off, right, to this. Okay, so apparently there was something wrong that happened, and now no, it's correct. Okay, so if I select this bone, it should be marking there. Okay, so this means that this selected bone, yeah, that's it. This means that this dot here, filled dot, means that the filled ball, circle, whatever, it means that the bone is on this layer, on this not layer, on this bone collection, and also it's here. So I'm gonna use this as a rig so pelvis right, yes, left. So here is ongoing process, and it has all I need. And if I Shift Alt H to unhide everything, there is nothing to be unhidden from this extra layer. So that's good. Which color you give to this? Well, no color. So this eventually maybe I have to split, but for now this will be good. This blue one, so this is the fan bone, the oriental fan bone. Let's see, yes, okay, that we see on the text on the top right corner. So this is the major fan bone. It derotates. Oh, I forgot. I also need to include in here from the deform rig this and this. So the lower spine and the left thigh. So here I'm gonna hide this. Then I'm gonna Shift M and add to this, and then I can hide this, and okay, so basically here we can see, so I'm gonna save here, we see that the major fan bone is derotating whatever the rotation of the thigh. This precise derotation affects the mesh, affects the upper part of the mesh of the thigh, so this region here which suffers from artifact. It's not very smooth here, we can improve that with wave painting or the posing here, that I've made some wave paint mistakes, but basically and so these bones here, they are mappers of the volume of the thigh. They're just there to represent, you see, the origin, not the origin, but yeah, the rest position of the thigh. They are, I could have more of them, yeah, we could, but that should be enough. Could even be a bendy bone spline, but this is simpler. they are on the surface, they don't follow the mesh, they follow the bone. So as the mesh deforms through the skinning algorithm, through rotations, there is a lot of change in volume that can be confusing for the rigger, because I don't have a 2D reference for this. So plenty of deforms happen, and I lose the because there are so many corrections to do, it's just too easy to lose the understanding of what's going on. So I know this is the major pose, so let's make some fixing here. Maybe I'd have a, okay, so I've enabled auto keying, and since I see that the thigh is very displaced, I'm gonna, on this keyframe, I'm gonna repose some stuff here. I'm trying to match not the position here, but the position of this in relation to the mesh. Not match exactly, because there would be some natural flash transforms, right, that would cause some changes on the volume, right? So however, we are going to try to make this as smooth as possible and try to work this in accordance to, yeah, we're trying to use this as visual references. And here, so this is hard work, I mean, it's time consuming, but you see, it can be very precise if we are careful enough. So this is bendy bone profile bendy bone splines. They are very smooth at spline skinning at, because this is a profile, right? It's not a lateral vision, but it's a profile. And because the fan bone here is not a deformed bone, it's just a mechanism bone, and all of these splines, the entire splines, they are rotating, derotating along with this. They are, the handles, they are parented here, you see? Well, the bendy bones are parented to their start handle, which is, okay, this one is the start handle, so it loops in this direction. Okay, so because these are the main deformed bones that are concurring with the ratios for the wave paint of this part of the thigh, concurring with the thigh, deformed thigh bone, maybe some waves from that, yes, they are on the joint, the lower spine, and also these ones, they also have some, but in this area, the upper thigh, especially on the upper thigh, the only bones that are mostly affecting are the bendy bone splines with massive waves, each one taking waves from one of the areas, and then the thigh. So we can check this immediately, might be useful. So here's the thigh. It could have more waves actually on the, and you see heavy waves here. I want to improve this. Actually, a good time to try this, but that would mean I'll have to undo some work, or maybe not, because this is all red waves. Yeah, the problem is are these ones. I have to repaint and retransfer a part of the, okay, I have an idea. I didn't want to repaint this. You see how they are focused only on their, but I need to expand this to the lower thigh around here. It's too low here, that's why we have probably some bad waves there. So the idea would be to have the thigh waves copied to all these bendy bones, and then from this copied version start taking off all waves. So it's a reductive method, and this would be easier to guarantee that most of the waves of the derotation are precisely affecting this. Because this is red and this must be 1, so this part is easy, but then the part here is more complicated, because then the type is not red, it starts to blur in some ways. And yes, in principle organic rigging doesn't need to be very precise. I mean, it needs to be precise, but it doesn't need to be exact in many ways, so otherwise we would go crazy, right? But so it's a bit of artistic work, but then there are special cases in which we would like to have complete control of each millimeter of ratio, right? Like the value, we want exact value besides 0 and 1, I mean. So this is not exactly the case. So what I could start doing here to improve, because I don't want to undo this work, would be just to expand the waves here. Now let me take my table here. Expand the waves here to for the, yeah, I can use this mix. So I'm gonna expand the waves here in direction of the lower type. Maybe I could get something like that, yeah. So after can blur anyways. So yeah, let's do this. This is easier expansion. Maybe this pose is not helping. Let's get another. Yeah, this one will be easier. No, it's not this. It's here, here, and here. This one is having difficulty. There we go. I'll blur later, all simultaneously. No, I mean, yeah. No, not all simultaneous, one by one, but the step now is just adding this expansion here, strong expansion. Regarding the amount of waves I'm putting here. Here you see, okay, this pose is not still doesn't have action here, so let's see. This, okay, we got this. This seems a bit too small. Can we? Well, that's fine. So, and here we also, I'm not sure now. Did I complete? 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, this one. All right. So here. And here, and that's it. And then the rest is blurring. So we're gonna blur all along here, yeah. And even the, yeah, reduce that. Good, so this is one. I'm gonna save. So now this one, I'm gonna blur here. Something about here, and expansion here. of the blur, then okay. Did I think I began, I'm lost now. So okay, this was done, 1 2, so I was in the right direction. It's not too hard to visualize. So this is the 3, and then to the outer side of the type we can conclude that. Too much blur there. This doesn't seem to be blurring. Alright, and then last one. So first I blur here, so there's more strength that will go to this region. And then I can take off a little waves here. Yeah, forgot that part, but that's minimum. This doesn't require too much anyways. And I think that's it. So with this expansion, here, the fact that there are enough waves here, it's actually good that the type, I believe, has even less blended waves. So the ratios of the upper type is favorable. Oh, by the way, this is wrong waves. Oh, I can enable this as a deformed bone to improve the waves of the rotation of this particular place. So this will take even more waves from the type, but this is not good in the sense that I will, by taking off waves, changing the ratios with this as a deformed bone, what will happen is that my profile bendy bone splines will lose this capacity of, you see, there's some delay, and this is natural because of the ratios, because ratio is not equal to 1. So it's not for that the bendy bones that are carrying this mesh, they are not totally carrying this mesh. So there start to be a delay which is proportional to the amount of blended waves that the ratio is the resulting ratios is taking off from these bones. So if we enable this, we as a deformed bone, what will happen is that you see, it will delay even more. So less and less will this become let's say an incredible, better profile bendy bone spline, a profile, yeah. So because then it will have less. So however, in terms of deforms, this could be a way to smooth out things, but I don't think that will be, might even be worse in some cases. But anyways, we already did some waves and conceptual workout. Now we need to, okay, so now that I've changed the ratios there, it will be time to keep. So for this pose, let's try to work here. Yeah, I'll probably need to okay, so you see that was too rotated, and then there's some bulging on the type, middle type, that doesn't seem too near the upper type, that doesn't seem too good on that amount. So from a front view, what's going on? If I pick that and okay, ignore what's going on there. This is something I need to address. Oh, again, this problem with the z-axis rotation. It's like the type is bending. Okay, this relates to this. I thought I have fixed that. Okay, there's a way to, but I'll have to address that later. So just, I mean, the final solution, the end solution for that. But for now, what I can have here, what is, yes, control rig. I need, yeah, I can use this bone. This can do this. Don't ask me why, how it can do that, but it's more complicated. So if I get this bone and okay, let's go back. I'm gonna create a keyframe for it, and then on this pose I'm going to, this is temporarily, folks. Okay, so I can totally derotate the type. This wouldn't be happening if I had a more conventional rig, so this is just my, this is the result of my crazy experimentation with this rest position, and because probably related to the interaction with this and the axis, and maybe something to do with I key bone constraint, but whatever. Okay, so now it, oh, it is still doing bad, so I didn't, okay, let's, I think I didn't, oh, it wasn't saving, of course. Alright, let's redo this. It wasn't saving, so I can see the axis there, the z-axis, the big one, so maybe you can, but here it is. So now it's pointing in the right direction. So this is what was happening to the type. So now it's much better. And there's still some, this is a joint is another question, I'm not addressing it right now. So for now, let's include this into our Shift M all pelvis, right, stuff. Let's so go back here, so because we need this mapping. All right, so now what I can do is to continue. Yeah, the shape is much better now, but we need to keep addressing some shapes here that from all directions we need to solve the volume, the shape. Here is interpenetration with the belly, so this is something that I'm still examining. I can pose the buttocks, yes, because this also has an action bone constraint. It's the same, it's all the same. So this is all about the 0 to 20 frame. Frames start at 0, ends at 20, and all these bones has the same action bone constraint. I just copy paste, and they are being dragged by the type, but there is an idea. This is for later, folks. This will be also experimental. There's a way to drive stuff. Let me take off this. I will face some problem probably when I want a diagonal pose, because here, let's say I need a different setup, special setup for this, like, and I say, and I do this as a, I have this as an action actually. It is, where it is? It is here. So what happens here is that if I recall an action here from this bound, right, on this timing, which is like what it is, yeah, and I'm confusing about the direction of the leg. So this is something I'm really confused about, because okay, here it's simple because the leg starts on a T-pose, and then it's, so it's framed from 0 to 20. But what about, what happened there? Oh, just doesn't matter. So what about this? Because it's not, the leg doesn't come from the T-pose. So why that would make sense for the action bone constraint? Because the leg could be coming from any direction virtually to meet that. So I'm ordering these bones to adapt from a certain position. They'll add transforms. So it could be strange if, yeah, never mind what's happening here. This again is the type that I need to find a way to automate. This should be simple, but it's not so simple because of the way I've done this rig, so it doesn't, but I can solve that here. So I wasn't sure what was that. Now I'm sure that this is relative to this. Okay, so the question here is, yeah, so if the leg in the animation is coming from, not this animation, imagine I'm animating the car is coming from here to here, but the action I've saved, what I'm doing here, I've saved from, yeah, because the leg is going from here to here to match that position. So I'll be, that means that it's confusing. It doesn't make sense to me. It looks like there will be some crossing problems, but eventually the important thing is the bones, they will meet their final position. But it's strange how that should occur in this action bone constraint. But okay, I need to make sense of that. But another problem that I need here, that, sorry I didn't explain about that, is that here in this sort of diagonal pose, theoretically I have a maximized, let's say, extreme Z, which is the rotation of the thigh on the, for the side bendings, and also maximum X. I know it's maximum X in the sense that this is the positive X of the thigh rotation, at least from a T-pose perspective, not when this thing is crazy. Okay, and so this pose of the leg, which I can improve here with this stuff, okay, whatever, that will add X and Z. And the problem is that this is a dual thing, is a double thing. It's not just an W or V or axis. There's no V axis, W V axis. So this means that I'll need to find a way that, if it doesn't work naturally, because what happens on other rigging techniques, even including shape keys, corrective shape keys, where as a reach for diagonal positioning, the transforms, the morphs that we ordered for this they start to interact with the morphs for this and for the side bending, the front bending and side bending, for example. And so these interactions may ruin what's happening there, and on the other might affect them because they start to stack. However, with drivers there's a way to perhaps improve this competence by using something like this. So here would be the idea would be to use this instead of the thigh rotation. And so what we do here, we add a driver to this, and on this driver, instead of taking this stuff, maybe we'll not have to take this stuff. Yeah, actually we can, in this driver we can perhaps add two variables, two inputs, so the X rotation and Z rotation. But wouldn't it be similar if I had two action bone constraints here? Yes, so I know this is pretty confusing. So for now I'm not doing this because I need to even test the most basic thing. So we're gonna reach that, but that will be later. For now, the danger that I'm risking here is that I can do all these poses correctly and have to then to do rework of that because of some because of the diagonals. So this is to make major improvement. So here what we have, this bone also has action bone constraint. It's the hips leverage, so basically it does that. So I don't need to adjust these bones which don't have too much waves on the hips region. They have a little, some of them, but they are more to the upper thigh and the joint itself. So here I can leverage this, and same for the buttocks, as the name says, I can leverage the buttocks, and this is very, yes, this bone shares a lot with that and that region, but that's okay. So here I need to be careful not to rotate too much, because the excessive rotation could cause perhaps some sort of artifacts, although I'm not seeing too much, but I'll be careful about the rotations anyway. So I'll try to maintain to a legit amount. Alright, this sounds good. This doesn't change much there. It looks like this could affect more the buttocks region, but I don't know. So I'm gonna push this, but also, oh, this is the, yeah, so the problem, no, this is okay. We don't need to be too careful about that one, because this one is more critical. This one is sort of easy to fix. I feel like I need some sort of structure here. Oh, I can do this. Alright. This kinda helps a little for that matter. It's a bit strange the way it is, like what if I had another profile bendy bone spine. So this probably, if I could do that, that could be interesting. The crotch is automated, so let's see here. Must be careful about the side also. So those bones will rotate in many strange ways, and that's okay. The important is the mesh. provided they don't themselves cause some crazy artifacts. And so here maybe I really need to push them here. Having more vision would help. This is sort of helpful too, but I'm not using other areas. So it's like the type has got, oh no, it didn't. I'm looking at the blue bones here. So this is the up and okay, and so it's like the thigh is being, with all this rotation, they could follow the bone, right? But this is an extreme rotation. So these bones are just visual mappers. They don't do nothing. So imagine if the thigh was here. This will be ridiculous, right? There's too much collision, interpenetration already. But it's not exactly that the thigh is gaining volume a lot, because look, it just got displaced from what would be here to here. So this is looking okay, the shape that I've given. So this was sort of intuitive. I wasn't even looking at that. But that seems to be working fine for this. Let's see if we got, hold on. Let's see if we got more stuff here to, yeah, I need. So I probably, yeah, wait, yeah, this is too, must be careful about these shapes. That's good. That's okay. And here, yeah, it's difficult. You see that at some point here I don't have, this area might be because of the waves. So let's check, quick check here. Maybe the waves are a bit bad here. Yeah, I could have more expansion. Yeah, more expansion. So why don't we do it right now? So I'm gonna blur this even more. Or maybe mix. I'm gonna save here, but you see it's starting to work. Yeah, this will be very subtle improvements, but let's change this. But it should help, maybe more than I expect, because I don't want to mix here. It will take too much time. I'll do that later. I'll have to. I don't have too much time on this particular stream right now. Maybe a half hour. Yeah, still a half hour. So not a lot of time. So, but yeah, this expansion should be important. Nonetheless, why not neighbor there? Should be okay. Alright, so we've made the expansion here. This is the second, this is the third. Yeah, saving. And laborious thing, but it should totally work, because it's not every time we can find solution for this kind of madness. If you've made any sort of rig like that trying to use corrective shape keys or corrective armature deform methods, you know what this is all about. This is okay, so I think I forgot something. Alright, so here we have the expansion, is that correct? Okay, so I'm expanding this. Here. Yeah, I'm starting to lose vision. Okay, that's why. So here, yeah, more blur here. Then is arguable, should I reach to that extent? Yeah, should not be too bad. This should have improved so you see, I was careful to not try to take wave from the opposite side, at least in some case, because the less waves I can take from the profile bendy bone spline, the better. So maybe this I've saved is improving the shape. Well, maybe very slightly. Cannot change. Yeah, so no, it doesn't help that much, but maybe now if I try to pose this, I can. So I could have another deformed bone, another cyst to try to improve that thing, but it's just some stuff there that is, I don't know what is affecting it. Maybe the buttocks have too much weight. Yeah, maybe there's something about the buttocks here. Let's see. Maybe too much waves there. Let's try and because the buttocks is rotating, is doing all sorts of things, so maybe this is. Let's try to reduce its influence onto this area. The crotch doesn't, so yeah, it could be. This is non-deformed bone, so this is not a problem. Could that be that the thigh waves are wrong? No. On that region particularly, it sounds correct. Though I could have maximum waves here, why not? For now, okay. I'm tempted to put thigh here, but that part is mostly smoothed out, I think. If I did that, not too much would have changed apparently. There's too much derotation already, so from this. So all the bendy bones here on the profile bendy bone splines, I'm calling them fanny bones along with their handles. So they are doing what the fan bone is doing here. The mechanism so they are derotating. So instead of having one wave painting for everything, I have multiple wave paint that are like combining to into the wave painted mesh to form sort of this combination of waves. So that means if I selected all the bendy bones together with multi-paint, right, I would see all the waves. I'm not using this option, it's too dangerous. Could be useful in certain cases, I'm not sure right now. but just to show that they combined, they would do something like this. I'm not deleting these waves here because maybe I want this for tests later. So here you see it's weaker there. Okay, so now we go back here. Why am I going away frame mode? So I think I have a wrong pose here. What is this? Let's snap this to here. Yeah, probably a small mistake. Let's save this. Yeah, it seems to have improved, but I'm not sure. Okay, so this is free posing by now. We need to decide what we do with this. Yeah, I could do some rotation that way. So this is the cool part. That action bone constraint, you can just pose these things. This is the, let's do some thing here. So it's like the waist is getting moved up slightly. Okay, this seems to improve the yeah, at this point it would be interesting to have some splitting, so we see from multiple angles what's happening. It's I should have been doing this for a while, but it takes too much space, and on a not a very large screen or resolution it's a bit hard to. Okay, so how can I look at that? Okay, let's do this, whatever. So that should help. Then also maybe I could do that. No. Yeah, never mind. This is good enough. So let's reduce this. What can I improve? So yeah, so hard work, but under control, we could say so far. So this is, yeah, I see something there is going strange on that part. I think it's lacking in smoothness. Let's reset the rotations here. There's this, the belly. Okay, the belly, maybe it's too much up, so the belly button gets a bit deformed. We cannot prevent the interpenetrations by doing this. It's like unnatural, right? But sure, it helps to improve the shapes. What I could do is, of course, try to spread the, try to bring all these perhaps down a little here. Yes, good idea, so I can probably try that. I can try some rotation in this direction. Not sure if this, then I need to try solve that. Yeah, maybe if I try to bring the buttocks to the front. Yeah, this is smart, exactly. So I can sort of push these things more. in front. And this will make space for avoiding so much interpenetrations, right folks? And so here if I rotate all the block, I must be careful not to cause to sort of cancel the rotation that I'm doing. You see what happens there? So it's not, should be careful about that. Not to cancel this rotation here too much. Here probably working to push that here, and okay folks, as you can see, we could be doing this for a very long time, but it's quite precise what we can do to the shapes. It's quite appealing, but it's time consuming. Yes, it's very difficult because the shapes get really messed up with very easily. It's hard to find exactly what we want. There are just too many things to interact with. If we could simplify, that would be better. But this character design is not that simple. It's sort of organic, so I cannot just do anything and say, oh, that's fine. No, I want better shapes. Here, so Control 1, we can probably improve here, and yeah, this is good. Why not rotate this way? And then this probably, yeah, leverage in that way, it's fine. I'm starting to like this output. I think I found that this idea of rotating massively this all the handles. So there's a sort of a tilt in the crotch. I want to make it automated. So only thing here for this pose that I must be careful is that despite this, it makes sense that the buttocks get up here. At the same time, this rotation of the thigh, it makes a lot of there's still mass here that is important to skip down, also because of the crotches. And like the buttocks disappear, they go up, like it's not exactly like that. There's too much flesh and fat and muscles there, so this must do something like that perhaps. So I think this is I don't like this particular shape, but since the character is a bit skinny, it's not too bad. So yeah, now that looks good, although here we I would prefer maybe this. Now this is looking good, more or less. Moving this up, and here maybe centralize this a little more. It's hard to look at this and here at the same time. And also let's consider this a very exaggerated pose, right? So it's like not happening all the time. If it happens, it will be something. Oh, this is moving too much. To the front. I see that the rotations were a bit dangerous. Yeah, now I've messed up or just found out some. Yeah, here we see there's something weird going on, and I'm not sure. This is the area. This is wave paint problem. There's some bad interaction between the waves. This is start to be yeah, sort of ruined. So let's try to. Maybe it's not the problem of the pose that I'm doing so much. It's because of the. Oh, it's a 90 degrees rotation. Okay, I've exaggerated the rotation. All right. Alright, but it's not too hard to find the oh, here. Yeah, it's difficult to rotate this bone like anyhow. You must be very careful about the rotations, right? So maybe rotate on only certain axes, so I know exactly how to handle them. If we rotate them randomly, yeah, so these are very low rotations, not like as I tried, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, 0.5 on the X, I think. Yeah, dangerous. Now it's better, we don't see too much this problem, but there is some bad stuff going in there. It's, let's reset here. Is it possible? No, this is not caused by any sort of crazy rotation. This is, it could be, no, also not this, also not this. The bendy bone spline shouldn't be causing this. So this is wave paint stuff. Let's investigate that. So oh, I see. Yeah, so here it's long reduction. Maybe here we could blur. Let's save. Oh, this is the lower torso, right? So why does it have these strange waves here? Maybe this is too much for the torso. Yeah, maybe this is a bad idea, the torso to have these waves there. Let's take this off. Unrequired, I think, especially because this is taking waves from the, also ratios from the bendy bones. Yeah, this is critically ill, I think. Maybe it would be good for the buttocks region, but then it's still the upper thigh, so this is, yeah, because some of these waves were experimentally done before I was even found new experiments to do new approach. So yeah, maybe this is fine, and then probably I would like to have these as blue. So I want to get the mix here. time is nearly up, but so this would be for the front bend, but let's fix that. Let's see if I can have, so I'm gonna get currently Shift X, this is 0.6, it's a lot, and maybe it doesn't need to be that much, so let's bring that to, okay, strain. Let's try, I'm mixing, yes, so I'm gonna get something like 0.2, right? Let's see. Let's make some more space here. All right. Yeah, side bending will help. There we go. Okay, so that was all the way around. So we took off some waste from the lower spine in the upper thigh near the joint. So here, did that help anything regarding? Oh, this could be also mesh topology problem as we get to this position. Let's see, how is the, so maybe some subdivision here. Yeah, so in the end it was more like a, I see. So there's this is a 5-star pole. It will tend to shrink, yeah, as it is doing, and then no more star poles. Yeah, that mesh topology here is very specific to whatever they forms, and maybe we need more yeah, mesh topology issue here. So the deforms that are happening in this part of the mesh really require something more substantial. So how do I map this, what is happening here? It's this face, maybe I just need to change its, maybe I can mark it, mark sharp. Yeah, so yeah, it's bad for the visualization, but at least I know what I need to change there after I take this off. So here, of course, I will require to change the mesh topology. Let's go back to the, I wasn't aware that yeah, so this needs to be much better. That will force me perhaps to create more. I don't want to create more something like that. So there is a technique that I've seen. Perhaps I just can take some, like I can take from, I can make a subdivision right here. And what does that do? Actually, let's subdivide here. That can work. All right. And then I'm gonna subdivide here. So this might be an intelligent thing to do. The mesh will die off in a trigon. That shouldn't affect too much the stuff. Yeah, it shouldn't affect too much. And then we can round this. The positioning of these, yeah, there certainly would be other mesh topology techniques here to handle this better around the buttocks. Maybe the thing that I've done here, it's not foolproof, right? We've just seen it. So there should be better ways to do the whole thing. I'm gonna have to study that, but this is not particular problem that I have had. Of course, this happens because this is low poly. So in principle, yeah, two large faces, bad mesh topology for so much deforms that were going on that particular positioning. So let's try to improve some distribution here. Let's also take off now this clear sharp. Now it's better. All right. So good stuff. I hope this trigon here doesn't create okay, the face loop is still going, it's ignoring the trigon. Good. Oh, it's not ignoring the trigon, it's because this dies in the trigon, but then it continues. Interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know about this particular organization. Okay, let's also smooth this out just a little after this change. For now, that is good. So my time, unfortunately, yeah, so you see there is some evolution of the mesh there. It's a bit bizarre. Yeah, we can probably improve the volume distribution, redistribution. There's still too much behind, and maybe it's a bit crazy, but because this affects more like, yeah, I feel like there's, I didn't want to do that, but it does seems like that it would be beneficial to have more waves, or maybe this bone could have more influence on the gluteus medius, which is about here. So it's not just yeah, it might be good to have. So for example, if this bone here could affect this area, all this area here, so it would maybe, yeah, must be careful about the waves, but not being too strong. But if it could influence this, the leverage of some mesh here, very slightly, then it could probably solve some of the, yeah. So as this controls the lower, so this is more likely the gluteus maximus, which is all that, right, mostly. And this, yeah, and I've seen this in a example an analysis with some riggers. We were analyzing pictures, naked pictures, and we saw muscles, and we interpreted the fat and muscles. I've saw an anatomy reference, and then gluteus medius. So and now it does look like that they need special interaction. Let's blur a little here, maybe. Just blurring and not extrapolating anything. Of course, now that I've made this change, last thing I do before I stop here is, perhaps now that I have all this control, I'll probably need to redo here. Let's try to keep this as must know that this is radians, so actually it sounds, yeah, it's very small, not reset, just right. Let's if I reset, oh, that seems a lot, right? So no, sometimes it becomes, yeah, it loses control. I think it's because of the saving keyframes. Okay, this is relevant. Remove this, more up. It just doesn't. I have some strange thing there, but that can be. Oh, this happened with shift. Yeah, whenever I shift gets a bit complicated to use here. This is the belly. I should take care about that. Yeah, so this is good. So here we bring that here. Yeah, it's a good. This was a good idea, but needs to get it improved. Let's try to. Yeah. Okay. So this was good. So I didn't need to create a new bone there. These are regular deformed bones, by the way. Yeah, just this, because this will control the side. I hope I don't have to split it again. And then what about here? I think I've messed up some of the. Yeah, certainly I've messed up something. What's the original position? Oh, this moves too much, right? So let's, now that we have that other one, maybe we can have a different development here, right, folks? Yeah, we can totally do that. Let's try at least to maintain some. and we are looking to some diagonal positions, so this is also some sort of confusing. Now it's better. Maybe we need here to, and also this perhaps can derotate a little. This is the crotch, we don't move it, it's automate. Okay, so here probably another of these mesh topology things that I can improve. Here I see the trigon, but it doesn't seem to be very so need to be careful about the rotations of this bone, right? This rotation, let's be careful. Yeah, this is why I was pressing shift. Okay, here shift doesn't cause problems in the 3D viewport. Let's rotate with here, and yeah, this is good. Mostly good. No, still okay. So here the same meshes. That's like maddening, but it could be worse. We can solve the things, and so this. Okay, let's consider that this is a good pose, right? Finally, and then it gets mirrored. So this action is like not perfect, but it's working fine. Then I have here, that will be the next challenge, and then as I get after this, getting back to first, solve the side bending, where the leg goes there. Oh, this is another inner bending, like, so it's a new idea. I'll do that later. Yeah, the side bending. So after I fix the side bending, there is the then, so I'll jump these ones here. So there's just the back bending, then the side bending, and then I'll see what happens when I apply exactly what I'm doing to these diagonals. And so I might have to research the conditions if I need to make change to all this. I mean, not the positioning. The positioning is actually can be recorded in other ways, but I mean how to achieve those positions is what matters with the action bone constraints. So because there are different ways. Alright folks, so thanks for watching. That was it for more continuation here, and I'm gonna I hope I'll be back today, yeah, in a few hours to continue this, and then we see how far can we reach with this. Probably not too much today, but at least I want to finish the back bending, maybe more if possible. See ya folks, happy blending, take care.